Folks, look at that big bass. That is almost a 9-pounder. Hey, I'm going to tell you a little bit about what's happening, Roland, because this week I did some great fishing. I just want to show you what I caught that big one on. That one that you just saw was a little over 8.5 pounds, and I caught it on the white Swim Jig. Okay, let me just show you what this is, and it's such a cool deal. It's a white Swim Jig. It's a 3/8 of an ounce Swim Jig with a Cenko tail, a 4-ounce Cenko tail. And look at this thing in the water. Look at this thing. Look at this thing run. That thing is just so cool. It has a super action. It's just so good. And they hit that thing so good. And what I was doing, I was just throwing it out there, and I was counting down 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds, 4 seconds, 5 seconds, and I just saw the line twitch just a little bit, and I set the hook, and I had the one almost 9 pounds. Okay, that was the first thing, and that was really a big deal. So what was happening in my world this last week was a lot of good fishing. I went all over the place, and the whole key to my good fishing was find the hydrilla, find the bass. We went around the Kissimmee area. We went to all sorts of areas all in the central part of the state, found hydrilla patches, caught them good. Now another thing that was really cool, let me just show you another thing that was just absolutely out of sight. It was a lure. You might have heard me talk about the buzz frog, and over the years I've used that Tekla buzz frog, and that's a good one. But I took a Spro, and this is the bronze-eye Shad model that has the 2 holes out of the back, and I took the super glue and and I put a big swivel back there, and I put some other line in there. That's a real heavy-duty saltwater swivel, and then I poured, this is my own tail. I made a little mold out of the people that spike it. They have another company called Lureworks, and they send me this plastisol. They make molds and worms and all that stuff. And I made my own little mold, and I made this tail. It's a little bbit bigger, a little bit heavier, a little bit better than the Tekla thing. Well, anyway, what this does is it has a good hook. See how those hooks are? It's a 4/0, really good super hook. I'm running on 50-pound braid, and you're talking about something that buzzes. I caught the fool out of them. I went with Gerry Brousseau, and we went to the hydrilla patches, and watch that thing come across the water. Look at it's buzzing the whole time. It's just the whole lure is just waking around. Boy, and I stop it some, and you'd see them coming up behind it, and they'd suck it down. Boy, boom, and I'd hit them hard. I got a cut down rod that I kind of use for that. It's an old favorite rod that I cut a little bit off the tip, and it makes a perfect worm rod, frog rod. Okay, that's one thing. Then, in addition, I just did fishing. I fished all week. I just had a great time fishing. Here's the other thing that I really did good on, if I can get it out of here. It's the, okay, Chatterbait. This happens to be a weedless chatterbait because I was throwing it in hydrilla. But again, I put that 4-inch Cenko, the white Cenko, and that thing has such a good action. Look at this thing in the water right here. It's just so cool. If I can find it, it looks a lot like a Swim Jig, but it vibrates. Look at the thing vibrate around. It just vibrates like crazy. It's hard to see, and the water's kind of dark. The thing vibrates really good, and I have it on braid. And then when I throw it out there, and I let it sink down 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds. Okay, it hits the bottom. I can lift it up. Boy, I can feel that thing pump. And with that braid is so sensitive, and I have a favorite rod series that it's just the perfect rod for this. It's kind of a soft rod, but anyway, I'm just kind of milking it along, and right at the edge of the hydrilla. Again, hydrilla was the key to all these lures, and I just caught the heck out of them. Well, we're about halfway finished of what happened. Now, my partner that I fished with was Gerry Brousseau. Now, Gerry, we've done a lot of films together. He stayed with the worm most of the time. Caught some big bass. Caught an 8-pounder. Caught another nice one. He took the blue and black Cenko like this with a little weight. He had braid, and all he did was mainly throw behind me and just throw to the edge of the hydrilla and just kind of dead stick it. And he just caught the fool out of. He caught some nice bass, just kind of dead sticking the Cenko. Well, I didn't fish the Cenko much this time. Okay, the other lure that I fished that I really got involved with. Hey, the Whopper Plopper. I made a whole big film on the Whopper Plopper. That's the big 130. This thing is so noisy. It doesn't catch but a few bass, but it catches big ones. I mean, when I throw it out there, I mean, that thing really makes a commotion. I mean, that is really a big time deal. And you're talking about a lure that catches, you doesn't catch but a handful of fish. But I caught an 8-pounder on it. I did catch an 8-pounder. And I only caught, in 2 days, I only caught about 5 or 6 fish, decent fish on it, but they were like all over 4 pounds. So if you want to catch a really big fish and you don't care about catching a lot of fish, that big number 130 Whopper Plopper around the edge of the Hydrilla, again, thrown in the holes of the Hydrilla, thrown on the edges of the Hydrilla, that seems to be really the key for a big bass bite. See, this is summertime. The water temperature is in the 80s. It's pretty calm. You notice how calm the water is? That's another good thing. The water is fairly clear, at least it was when we were fishing, and it's a little bit overcast. There's some weather systems coming in, and that overcast, it really helps. So you have 4 really good things. Now, here was my bread and butter lure. This is the old devil's horse. Now, I don't have any deal with the devil horse, you know that. I just like to use them. I have it tied on 20-pound test line. What I've done, I've taken the hooks, the regular 3 hooks, and I've put 2 bigger hooks on here. This is a Gamakatsu hook. And I've also done another thing. These screw eyes on the original devil's horse only come back going about 1 inch. I got these real long screw eyes in there, this one. I got these ones that are about 2.5 inches long, and they go way in all the way over to here. So it's a lot stronger. And then I got these, I got to keep this thing all bent out straight. But the key to this thing, and it was so cool, this is an ambush point lure. This is the kind of lure you throw to a bush. You throw to the edge of a grass. You throw to a grass point. And here's what you do with it. This is the cool part of it. Okay, see this little grass right here? And what I'll do is I'll throw it out there just a little ways. Okay, not very far. Well, however far I want to throw. But look, all the ripples are dying out. All the ripples are dying away. All the ripples are dying away. They get out, the ripples are 10 feet in diameter. Way out big. And now twitch it just a little teeny bit. And all that, the propellers just turn just a little bit, and a little bit of sun, a little bit of light kind of flashes. Again, I just kind of just pull it just a little twitches like that. That's all I'm doing. And for about 3 or 4 feet, I'll really lure near that point or near that little spot of the grass. And once I get it after 3 or 4 feet, I just kind of reel it in and just sort of the next spot. So when I'm devil horse fishing, I'm not covering much water. I'm covering a specific spot, like a little ambush point. But I have so many neat strikes. I told my cameraman, Sean, I said, keep that camera rolling. I know we've got a YouTube video going, but I got like 25 strikes where I'd throw the topwater out there, I'd let it sit, I'd be talking to the camera, I'd let it sit, and here would be these 3 and 4 and even 5-pound bass just come up and just suck it down, kind of like a bluegill. They just suck it down, and I'd see the kind of swirl in the water. I set the hook at big old bass. So we really had just about the best bass fishing we've had all year this last week. Went out 3 or 4 different days, used 5 or 6 different lures, just caught a lot of fish, and I went my big boat. This is the Z21 that like you've seen me a lot in the canoes and a lot in my little car topper boats, and that's fun too. And I enjoy small boats and small waters. But there's certain times that I get on Okeechobee. It's come up, the 14-foot level is now, and the big bass are starting to bite on Okeechobee. Kissimmee is up there. There's Hydrilla spots on Hydrilla in the coves, and there's lily pads, and there's good reeds on Kissimmee. Istapoga has another good bite. I mean, there's 5 or 6 lakes that you can find really good fish, good quality fish, and you can find Hydrilla as well. So that's the deal. Find the Hydrilla and find the bass. Try a topwater for sure, and you'll catch some really big bass. Well, that's kind of what's happening in my world. Hey, I'm getting ready to go to Mexico tomorrow. I'm getting up early in the morning. I'm flying all the way down to Lake Guerrero. I'm going to fish down there with all the guys from Favorite Rods. We're going to do some film work. Our old buddy Pedro Soares, he's a Mexican guy, and I've done film work with him. I'll be filming with him. And then the next week after that, I'm going to go see Jimmy Houston, my big buddy in Oklahoma. We're going to have a challenge. I'm going to try to get him again. I don't know who won the last one, but we'll have another challenge. See who in the heck wins. So that's what's happening in my world. Plenty of fishing, plenty of fun. Hey, thanks for watching. Please subscribe, hit that likes button. We'll see you again soon.